Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm here to show you the basics of Zotero. Zotero is a citation management tool which will help you organize and store all the book and article citations you find while doing research. Zotero was built for the Firefox internet browser. If you don't already have Firefox on your computer, we recommend that you go to the Firefox website and download it. Once you have Firefox on your computer, you need to download Zotero. Go to the Zotero website, but first go to Register and create an account for yourself with Zotero. Once you have an account, you can go back and download Zotero into Firefox. Download now and Zotero for Firefox. If you really want to use Chrome or Safari, scroll down and find the connectors for those browsers. Once you've downloaded Zotero and you open up Firefox on your computer, you're going to either see a Z in the top right of your browser or the word Zotero in the bottom right of your browser. Whichever one you have, clicking on it is the way that you open up the Zotero tool. So either click on the Z up here or the word Zotero down here, and that is how you get this tool to open up. And if you want to close it, you just click the little X to close it. The very first time you use Zotero, you're going to want to make sure that this inside Firefox version is in sync with your in the cloud account. So go to the gear icon and click Preferences and enter the same account information here that you used over here with Zotero. And probably also make sure that the Sync Automatically button is clicked off. What that will do is, as you're working away with Zotero over the months and years, Zotero will automatically save all of this information back up into your cloud account, so it'll be nice and secure there. When you start using Zotero, all that you're going to see is My Library with nothing in it. You probably want to organize all of your information and research through folders. You can create a folder over here and give the folders names like literature essay or anthropology assignment and that type of thing. And the folder will show up here. Clicking on a folder brings up all of the citations and articles in that folder. And clicking on a citation brings up the information for that citation. So what journal it is, the year, the date, the author, that type of thing. To get information into Zotero is very easy. Before you start doing your research though, click on the right folder that you want all the citations to come down into. So I'm going to click Chris Test and then get rid of this window so it's out of my way. And now anything I find and download is going to go into that folder. So if I'm in an article database and I'm looking for some information, and I find a good article. If I like this one, I look up in the URL address bar up here, and I see that there's a page icon. You click the page icon and look down to the bottom right, and we'll see that Zotero is saving not only this information, but also the full PDF because it's available right there. So I have this in my Zotero account. And if I go to a book catalog and I'm looking for books and I do a book search, if I find a good book and I open it up, I now see a book icon in the address bar, and clicking that book icon brings this information down into Zotero. Now, one thing that Zotero doesn't do that you very much may want to do is grab the persistent link to this record so that you can come back here again easily. So I'm going to copy this persistent link and go back to Zotero. So for American Theocracy, for this book that we just saved the information for, and this is the information here, if I go down to the URL field, I can paste that link in. So now if I've gone off and have done some other work and I want to come back here and I'm looking at my Zotero account again, if I double click this, I'll come back to this page and there it is there. For this citation, this article citation we found, if I click the little triangle, I'll see that I have, well, you see what is attached to that article. So we have the snapshot. What the snapshot mainly does is give you the link back to the database page. So here we are here. And also I see that I have the full PDF. So if I do a right click and I open it up, the PDF will show up. What many people like to use these citation managers for is creating bibliographies. So you can create a bibliography from one or two individual citations. So if I do a right click, I can choose to create a bib from that item only. More usefully probably is to create a bibliography from an entire folder. So if you click on the folder and do a right click, you see create bibliography from collection. It asks you what style you want to use, and I'm going to copy all this to the clipboard and say OK. You open up your word processor and do a paste, and there is the information for the citations you had in that folder. Now the trick with Zotero and RefWorks and all these managers is that they don't do bibliographies perfectly, so you need to know APA or MLA well enough to proofread and check what you see here. But this still gives you a very good head start, especially if you are working on a huge paper with dozens of citations. A few last notes about Zotero. If you want to do groups, if you want to work on a project with some classmates, you can create a group with this button. That really just takes you back to the online version of Zotero. So you log in with your Zotero account, and you can go to a groups area to create the group and invite people by their email address and give them various permissions. Most of us are using free Zotero accounts. With a free account, you get 300 megabytes of storage. If you ever find yourself needing more storage, there's payment information on the Zotero website to tell you what you would need to pay. And the last note is that Zotero, because it's kind of tricky to sign in and out of, you have to go back to that preferences area and remove your information from it and maybe restart Firefox again. We don't recommend that you use Zotero on a public computer because it's very easy to just walk away and forget that you've been using Zotero, and the next person who sits down might mistakenly erase a lot of your information and just do things that you don't want to have done with your Zotero account. So we recommend that you only use Zotero on a personal private computer instead of a public computer. If you have any questions, please ask your library staff for help, either the Thunder Bay staff or the Aurelia staff, and we'll be very happy to help you out.